Alrighty guys, we're back for Jeskai Interrupter, and this is an Outlaws of Thunder Junction standard brew, and I'm Red Cat. Let's briefly go over the deck, then hop right into some ranked, but first things first, this was a suggestion over in the Discord, so thank you so much for the suggestion. It's gonna be a fun one. We do got all 4 High Noon in here. It's a 2-mana enchantment. Each player can't cast more than 1 spell each turn, and then for 4 and a red, sacrifice High Noon. It deals 5 damage to any target. Beautiful stuff, man. We're going to be pairing this with a whole bunch of cool flash creatures like all 4 Aven Interrupters, for example. A 3-mana 2/2 with flash and flying, and when it ETBs, you exile target spell. It becomes plotted. Spells your opponents cast from graveyards or from exile cost 2 more to cast. Neat card, man. Interested to see how much it's actually going to do today. Other flash things include a couple of Tishana's Tidebinders. Also have a couple of Wandering Emperor here too. You got a couple of Horned Loch-Whales, and very much acting as a bit of tempo on that adventure side. And then we actually have a lot of tempo packed in general. While I do believe it's leaning towards a control list, yeah, just like a lot of tempo packed in, especially with like the flash creatures and whatnot. Adding to that tempo, a couple Fading Hopes made the cut. You have some counter spells in here with a couple 3 steps ahead, as well as a couple No More Lies. A large variety of cards packed in, huh? Now, as far as like 3 steps ahead goes, that middle spree ability for +3, you create a token that's a copy of target artifact or creature you control. It might be pretty interesting to go ahead and use that to get the ETB effect off of like a duplicated interrupter or something, right? So, sounds pretty cool. And that's the same reason we got Saheeli the Sun's Brilliance in here as well. This is a 2-mana 2/2 legendary creature. For Izzet colors, you can tap this, create a token that's a copy of another target creature or artifact you control. Except it's an artifact in addition to its other types. It gains haste, sacrifice it at the beginning of the next end step. So yeah, nowhere in there does it say sorcery speed, right? So you could do this on the opponent's turn, copy an interrupter, and then get that ETB or something. Same thing with Tidebinder too. Sounds pretty cool. So we also have a couple Lightning Helix in here. This could totally be your spot removal of choice. I'm opting for something that also hits the opponent's face because when I play control, I like to make sure I can actually get the job done. And something that High Noon does well with that extra like 5 damage and whatnot, and also just tempoing out with our creatures, I think it's going to be very possible to get the opponent down low enough to just do the last 3 with a Lightning Helix. Also on the top end, we do have a Jin-Gitaxias here. Pair really nicely with that High Noon. High Noon already taxing the opponent as well as everything else in the deck also taxing the opponent, right? So Jin-Gitaxias here, it's a 7-mana 5/5. And whenever an opponent casts an artifact, instant, or sorcery spell, you counter that spell. This ability triggers only once each turn. So imagine just countering the only spell that they can play that turn. That's pretty brutal stuff. Then also, whenever we cast an artifact, instant, or sorcery spell, you copy that spell. Choose new targets for the copy. This ability triggers only once each turn, of course. That could also be interesting with like our burn spells like Lightning Helix. We do have some board wipes packed in with a couple Ill-Timed Explosion, as well as a couple Sunfall, and a Farewell making the cut too. Now, as far as the card draw goes, there's not too much card draw packed in, but we do have a couple Memory Deluge, just a terrific card in general. And then the card draw on the Ill-Timed Explosion kind of sort of counts towards that as well. Oh, adding to the tempo, I am also opting for another counterspell here, Urza's Rebuff. So you can either counter target spell with it, or tap up to 2 target creatures. Again, yeah, it's kind of a tempo list, even though it's leaning towards control. The mana base I thought about for a while, noteworthy things, we do have all 4 Restless Anchorage in here. Soaring City made the cut, Seat of the Empire. Crucible of Defiance didn't make the cut this time. I opted for a mountain because you never know if we're going to have to grab that mountain off of like a demolition field or something. We also have a Mirrex in here too. No honorable mentions this time around. We can kind of use our imagination of what could have made it into the honorable mentions, right? Like your spot removal of choice, your counter spell of choice, all that stuff. So other flash creatures maybe could have made the honorable mentions too, but not this time around. Oh, we do have a little bit of Ramp with Celestus as well, but hey, I do my dandiest to go ahead and save the more in-depth discussion for the end of the video. In the meantime, let's go ahead, take it into some ranked, and see how we do. All right, looks like we're getting right into that first game. What am I expecting from the build? Okay, okay. I played some test games with this one. I expect it to be good, but I do think it's very difficult for me to pilot, so good thing I played some practice games. That's all I gotta say. Hopefully I'm able to pilot it well enough for you guys here for the video. We go first. No red source. I'm not too concerned about that. Might be taking a lot of damage here on the pain lands. We'll give this a shot. I'm not sure if this is a mulligan-worthy hand. It very well might be. We got a lot of mana packed in too, though, so... Okay, Hex Mage comes down as a 1/1. Oh, another Wastes. Eee. I don't know how I feel about that, but... I guess we'll get the second Wastes down, and we have Horned Loch-Whale available, but I don't think we'd want to do that on the Hex Mage right now anyways. Definitely going to be something better to do with that. Oh, what do we want to discard here? Jin is pretty far away. Well, it's not that far away. You know what might be further away? Lightning Helix. We don't see a red source. I think it's going to be the Lightning Helix. Even though the life gain sounds nice, if we had a red source, I would have discarded the Jin. A swing for 1. We take the 1. Horned Loch-Whale is going to have a better target. Alright, Demolition Field can come down. We have 3 steps ahead and Aven Interrupter available. It'd be pretty sick if they play something before combat, interrupt it, and then get a good block on the Interrupter. Oh, it doesn't look like they're going to play anything before combat. So I think I'd rather... We'd be taking 2 if we did that as well. I'm going to hold off on the Interrupter for now. Just take the 1 and bounce their 3/2 Hex Mage. So we're saving 2 here. Saving 2 life. Was that worth it? Yeah. Maybe. It depends what their turn 3 is, you know? Depends what they do here on their second main phase. Nothing. Okay. Lightning Helix, number 2. We're definitely going to need to see some more mana here and not Painland, right? 3 steps ahead available with the Aven Interrupter. Nothing on 3 might just mean they're waiting for like a Shieldred on 4. Interrupting a turn 4 sounds really good to me. Hopeless Nightmare. So that gives them a Scry 2. Alright. Probably looking for the 4th mana then at that point, right? Because I can't imagine they would have just kept the Hopeless Nightmare open just for the Scry 2. Yeah, any mana off the top will be terrific, especially if it has a red source. Like they're going to swing first. We're going to gladly take that 1. Oh. What do we do? They're passing it back with 4? I guess we do nothing. If they're practicing patience, I suppose we should practice patience too. Hey, high noon. Not a bad one, but then we won't have anything open. And they're already not playing too much. I'm not going to do it, guys. I'm passing. I don't know what the opponent's planning over there, but I guess it's going to be their Mirrex token for the turn. Also... Oh! Mirrex token, okay. They looked at their hand there for a second. Alright, let's see. 5th mana. Come on, Interrupter. Hit something big. Gumdrop Poisoner for our food. Okay, I guess you could have your food. Come on, Interrupter. They're so good for 1. Okay, we'll take the poison and go down to 14. I really... maybe I'm being too greedy with this Interrupter, guys. But when we play this Interrupter, we're going to be taking 2 as well, so... Oh, they're passing it. Oh, this is brutal. This is brutal. They're playing our game. Tapped land, huh? I think we might want to go Demolition Field on that Mirrex. Unfortunately, huh? I think we're going to have to do that. I'd rather do it on their turn, but we don't want them to activate it that many more times. It is what it is, man. I think we should probably do this. Like, they're going to be getting too much value out of this. We're not going to have Aven Interrupter available. We're not going to have 3 steps ahead available, but you know what we will have? Lightning Helix, because we're about to grab that mountain. Yep. Take that action for sure. Mana fixing. All right. Can also play High Noon. That'll make it so that way they're only playing one thing next turn. Which one would be better? I guess if they're about to spam out a bunch of stuff. I guess High Noon. Taking one down to 13. We should be okay. I don't know, man. Keeping the Lightning Helix open and just like popping their Hex Mage doesn't seem bad, but we do have to be very careful with these mites and the poison. But now that their Mirrex is gone, probably should have tried to take out that Mirrex a little sooner, huh? Probably. That's kind of my bad. Yeah, so Sheoldred comes down. It's going to be a big problem, man. High Noon. I'd say any amount of mana would be good. We'll have Interrupter open with the Lightning Helix. Okay, passing it back. Yeah, because we kind of wasted one turn for the Demolition Field, but we also didn't know that we weren't going to see mana off the top. That's tough decisions, man, because, yeah, if we would have... almost said filtered out the deck, but no, if we would have thinned out the deck from lands... Liliana's their one card for the turn. Okay. We're going to take one. We're going to interrupt that. Because I want the 3 steps ahead to do something a little bit more fancy. Yeah, Interrupter's good. Luckily, they're playing this before combat, so we actually get the Interrupter as a blocker, too. And it's going to chump the Sheoldred, I can imagine. We might get a really good trade here with the Lightning Helix. Like, we block Sheoldred, it takes 2, Lightning Helix, brings it all the way down. We'll gain the 3 that we're losing from the other things. The poison's doing a lot, though. Okay, no spot removal, 5 poison. Tricky business, man. You know... Did I not have open mana? Guys, what happened? What happened? Oh, I played my 1 card for the turn. Oh, well, we had to block the Sheoldred anyways. Dude, I got scared that I clicked through it, man. It's like I said, this deck is hard for me to pilot, and so I got really scared that I messed up somehow. Yeah, we only get to play 1 card a turn with High Noon on the board too, so... Okay. Well, I believe that is that. Can't do anything fancy with 3 steps ahead without an Interrupter on the board. Lightning Helix isn't going to gain us enough life regardless. We can go High Noon, pop the Sheoldred, and then we die. We die anyways. All right, and I think that was going to start leaning towards the opponent, but I also think that was my fault for losing a turn to not take out that Mirrex earlier as well. Good game, opponent. So if we waited for their turn to sacrifice it, it just doesn't matter at that point. They do get to spam down as many things as possible now, so I suppose if they have like a quest, right, then they can play more things for the turn. And I will discard the 3 steps ahead. I believe the deck has 27 total mana, but we definitely want to see like a mana every single turn. In that game, we ended up drawing 5 in the opening hand as well, and seeing 6 total because we used the Demolition Field to mana fix with the mountain. Okay, all right. Let's see if the deck can do a little bit more than what we were able to do in that first one. I believe it is more than capable. And hopefully I can pilot it a little bit better. I got to keep my eye on that Demolition Field a little bit sooner, too. Of course, it always depends, right? Because you never know what's going to be on top of the deck, but... Oh. We go first, too? Oh, this is great, man. Sunfall would have been huge in that last one. We only have a couple Sunfall in here. Might be something we go over in the final thoughts, right? Well, our only white source is going to be Pain. Hopefully High Noon slows down mono red enough at the beginning here to actually get to the point where we have double white on the board. Our Pain lands being in the deck, really, they're just not proving themselves right now as we're taking a bunch of pain from them. No double white for the Interrupter. Oh, dear. At least we'll have the counterspell on the 3 steps ahead, which I suppose we keep open, right? I think sometimes I get a little bit too greedy with my counterspells, too, just looking for better things to counter. Whoa, it's going to be a Rakdos build. That should be scary. Demonic Ruckus. Not much else to do for the turn. We should counter that. That's an example of me being too greedy with counterspells. I actually considered not doing that there. But no, that is a worthwhile counter. Because now it's 1 less damage, but with Ruckus off the board, this doesn't have Menace Trample. Celestus. There's the double white. But we're probably going to die next turn. Oh, no. Well. Alright, opponent. Do your worst, buddy. I keep trying to play a second card with our High Noon. That's silly. That's silly of me. 1 card a turn, and that's how the deck's set up, too. 1 card on our turn, 1 card on the opponent's turn. Demonic Ruckus, that was plotted. That's 7 already. And... we're alive! Holy cow, why? Why are we alive? And look, mana that doesn't hurt. What is going on? Okay, Sunfall. Demonic Ruckus restocks their hand. All they got to do is find some burn. Why are we alive, bro? They played their 1 card that was Ruckus, that's why. But then they didn't have burn on our turn. Oh. Send help. Beat-oop, beat-oop. Interrupter should be good. Have we controlled well enough? Okay. Okay. So we save the 1 card for their turn. No More Lies or Interrupter. No More Lies probably gets played around because of the... they'll probably have the 3. So it's going to be Interrupter. Interrupter's going to have to block the Codebreaker regardless, so we're going to lose it. So for our turn, I suppose we could play the High Noon. No, we can't. No, we can't. We need the white mana that doesn't deal damage to us because we're at 1. So I guess we'll keep the Incubator token open. Did you guys see what I mean? Like this one's rough on me. This one melts my brain. All right, end turn. It's just so weird. I'll take that action. Ooh, Tidebinder. All right, let's get rid of the second High Noon. Even though it could be cool late game to sacrifice these, we're just not going to have enough mana right now to do that much. Uh-oh, they're going to go for the swing first, so I'm going to block with the Incubator token then. Still have double white open for the Interrupter. No matter what, we have to interrupt what they play. Dreadmaw's Ire. +2/+2 and Trample, huh? Okay. They still have 4 open, so it is going to be Interrupter. That's their 1 card for the turn, and it gets that beautiful trade. There's some mana for us. So we have Tidebinder, No More Lies, If it's just going to be a burn spell, then No More Lies just doesn't hit. Do we start with activating Celestus? Still have 3 open. 1, 2, 3. We won't have double white if we tap like that, though. That's probably fine. That's probably fine. Any amount of life gain here is pretty good. Take action. Ill-timed explosion. So Tidebinder or ill-timed explosion. I'm going to keep the Tidebinder, and I'm going to have to keep No More Lies for now. Just in case they do play something expensive enough, but that's a tough decision because ill-timed explosion also restocks our hand. Yeah, pretty tough decision. Worth the swing. They play something hasty. No attacks. Because I'm not 100% certain what it could be, but... Noon, alright. Yeah, up to 4 now because Celestus is amazing. Swift Spear. Howdy. That's their 1 card for the turn. That's their 1 card. I'll probably get Tidebinder down. Just for the sake of playing things while we have them. Just more blockers too, right? So... switch it. Now we have the second white source in the pass if we want it. Kind of looking for another interrupter at this point, you know? Because No More Lies is not doing much when they have 6 mana. Yeah, every time I play with Celestus, it's just like so freaking good. Oh, Interrupter. All right, get rid of the No More Lies. Play the second white source. Aven Interrupter available. I think that means I'm going for the swing. Because now we got to start the tempo, right? I believe so. I believe so. Let's do this. Down to 15. Okay. Okay. Let's see what they end up doing here. Go back to night. Take the action. I'm going to decline. We're at 6 now. I think we may have officially controlled enough here with this second interrupter especially. So they go for the swing. We're going to take the 1. They go for the fancy pants play. Another Dreadmaw's Ire. So we're actually taking 2 here. So we'll interrupt that. That's their 1 card for the turn. We take 2. So if we would have went this down and went for the block, then the Ire would have hit. It would have been extra trample and everything. So it's actually pretty tricky. All right, Celestus. Those are, in fact, the lands that I want to tap. I will take that action gladly. Now we have to be, now we do have to be pretty careful with our swings now, because we don't have anything else fancy in hand. These cost 4 over here. I do want to get the Anchorage down. We're at 5. We're going back up to 6 here at the end. 1, 2. Like, how risky do we want to go? You know what I mean? Because they could drop, like, a Lightning Strike next turn or something, too. But they only get 1 card. So I think we'll be able to double block with Interrupter at the very worst. So I think I'll swing with Tidebinder. How do we feel about that? Get the 3-2 through. End the turn. Hopefully we can start powering up this Restless Anchorage to start wrapping this up, too. We will decline that. Man, all the more reason to consider 2 Celestus in the build, you know what I mean? Slick Shot, Show Off is their 1 card for the turn. That's going to be pretty brutal, because now they can start setting up. High Noon really punishing these style of builds. The only reason we're actually being able to continue here. Land. Alright, Celestus, what you gonna find me? Something better than land. That's the hope. take action. Ugh, more land. Just gonna keep that in hand probably. They don't know what this is. We gotta get them low enough to sweat when we pop the high noon to just hit their face. But we also got to make sure we don't die next turn. So we're gonna keep both interrupters back. Swing for 5. Have a full swing next turn. Oh, unless... Oh, crap. Unless they have spot removal right now. I think they might want to hit face, though, with that. So trample onto the show-off. Map token onto the interrupter. Down to 7. See what we see. And we're going back up to 8 here with the Celestus. Fading Hope is good enough for me, bro. Any amount of extra tempo now. I'll keep that on top. And we could take this action, get the Fading Hope into hand, and then ditch the Wastes, and then draw more off the top next turn, which I suppose is totally fine here. It'd be pretty sick if we had that 1 mana open still, though, but I had to use it for the map token. You know, it would actually be pretty sick if the opponent actually figured out a way through, though. Because, yeah, with just 1 card, though, I'm pretty sure we have the blocks we need. Yeah, GG opponent. Woo! Well, I'm gonna need to take like a 3-day vacation after playing this build. My goodness, man. That was good stuff. That was good stuff. Like, the deck really just put that lockdown on. The interrupters did the thing. You really can't ask for anything better than that. Keep the ball rolling. 26 minutes in. We totally have time for 1 or 2 more games. Yeah, like I said earlier, at least I think I did, when I play control, I like to play control that actually knows how to get the damage through. And so hopefully these matches aren't too long overall. We go first. I'm going to keep this. We have so much mana packed in, dude. I'm going to have to double check to make sure we have 27, but I'm pretty sure we have 27. So we should be fine and dandy. Duress! No! My high noon! Anything but that, opponent. Well, they're considering some of the other picks here. I'm pretty sure it's high noon, though, unfortunately. Oh, no more lies. Oh, they're not scared of that high noon. Now I'm scared. Alright. High noon comes down. Mana off the top, of course, would be ideal. Binding negotiation. Opponent! Get out of my hand, bro! Let's see. Non-land card from it. I don't even know. I don't know what they want because they know that we don't have much mana. So we'll have to see mana off the top a few turns in a row for this hand to be relevant. Go for Tidebinder. Oh. So they figure we were going to see the 3rd, and we do. Tidebinder out of the equation. That's it. Pass it back. This is going to be an awkward one. We don't have the red for the ill-timed explosion. Fading Hope doesn't have a target yet. It's the opponent's turn 3. If they drop like Liliana and go +1, legit, it might just be over. Like, they might be able to get us into an early lockdown. Duress opponent. Bro, the whole deck. That's their entire build, I guarantee it. So yeah, this is very much a Liliana style build. We gotta be careful, dude. That's 100% why they didn't grab this high noon, right? 2 open. 2 open. Spot removal is likely, right? We shouldn't power up this Anchorage. We power up Anchorage and they pop this, like, I mean, we're already in huge danger here. Yeah, we shouldn't power that up when they have 2 open. 4th mana comes down. all three of these hit their mark beautifully. Recently, I forget what video it's in, but we went up against a Mardu High Noon with Liliana, and it was terrifying, dude. Oh no, the ETB effect makes the Fading Hope terrible. We won't even get the scry. Bro, we're in so much trouble right now. I'm just gonna discard the Fading Hope. I like, honestly, I don't even know where to begin. I don't know what we need to see. I know that it's not... I know that it's not a card that we can't play. I know that much. All right, we swing with Restless Anchorage. Maybe cry ourselves to sleep after this game, but probably not. We'll probably hop right into the next one, you know? Let's see what you got, opponent. The opponent's deck is actually pretty cool so far. Hostile Investigator is actually a really neat card. Yeah, it's really neat. They get to restock their hand. Meanwhile, they're like draining our hand. They have plenty of mana too. Clues and stuff really work nicely against the High Noon style of effects. Shieldred comes down, and this might be a much faster game than we were imagining. We have High Noon pop Shieldred. Probably not yet. Restless Anchorage, swing in the air. Double down on map tokens. Take 8 on the ground. 2 from the Shieldred draw. Alright, I think we're in trouble no matter what. Let's get this swing. Is there one card going to be a cut down? Oh no. Oh no, guys. Oh no. Well, the opponent really had it here, but honestly, you gotta watch out for a build like this. You do. If they can interrupt you that much, Duress is really good against control and stuff, so yeah, man. Like, it feels like it lined up really nicely for the opponent, but I think they lined it up nicely for themselves, if that makes sense. But we'll definitely let them play this out too, because we might still have some cool tempo plays with the Horned Loch-Whale, which they know that we have too, so. Down to 4. More mana, that'll come in handy since we just lost one. And then, only get 1 card a turn. So, for our turn, we're going to do Lightning Helix on the Investigator. See what they do. Go back up to 7. And have the tempo play for the Shieldred, but they could have us discard this beforehand. Like, their 1 card next turn could be Liliana, plus it. Swing with Shieldred, pass it. We're still alive for some reason, but still. Abandoned Mire. Oh, that brings back the hostile Investigator. Then they can play Investigator. Have us discard the Whale. Oh, actually, well, no. Yeah, they could blitz back Underdog for 4. If they have another way to have us get rid of the Whale in hand, there's 1 card we don't know about. So they go for the Investigator, discard the Whale, then they swing for 4. They have a draw on the Clue as well. Dang, bro, dang. That's good. The one time we played with Investigator, I only played with 1 of them. And, yeah, it was totally fine. So we could pop the Shieldred, we'd die anyways. So we'll just go for the draw, see if we see something better. It is a Demolition Field, unfortunately. So I'll still pop the Shieldred and let them win with the Investigator. Dude. Yeah, good game, opponent. Yeah, like I said, that looks pretty good. I like it. Alright guys, 33% total win rate with the build so far. Do I think we can end on a high note? Absolutely, man. Absolutely. 34 minutes in. Let's get 1 more good match in. And hopefully we see things in a perfect order and the opponent doesn't see things in a perfect order. No, no, no. The opponent can see stuff in a perfect order as long as we see it in a perfect order too, right? That way it's like an actual clash of great things. All right, we go first. I don't know if, I don't think we can complain about this hand. We'll get our red source down with our white source and prepare for the Lightning Helix. And same concept, Lightning Helix is online. I'll start with the swing. We're going to keep the Lightning Helix open for now. Try to take out their turn 2 instead of their turn 1. Hopefully it's a good hit then. Insidious Roots. Oh. Okay. Right. Should we play it while we can? Giving them creatures into the grave isn't great. We gain 2, lose 1. Back up to 21 then. So, or we gain 3, I meant to say. High noon. All right. That's not on time, but it's fine enough, I suppose. To keep the interrupter for the turn for now. Interrupter for their turn for now, because I feel like they're going to have something to hit here. Like Undead Butler. Perfect. Let's do it. Go back down to 20. Mana off the top would be huge for us. We really desperately need to see mana every turn. There we go. All right. Memory Deluge is available. Although, I suppose we're just going to play High Noon. Yeah, lock them as much as possible because this is very much a deck that likes to spam creatures onto the board. Now, it spams the plants quite effectively, but it also has a bunch of 1-mana cards too, so. 1, 2... Alright, that's fine. Yeah, we don't want to pay... I guess we could have kept the wastes open to make them think they were going into a No More Lies or something. And Tyvar's a really good one to get onto the board. Because they get 2 cards for the price of 1 here. But we are going to have a swing into the Tyvar, but then they get a plant too. Luckily, Sunfall is really good against Insidious Roots, and you know what else is pretty good? Our 1 Farewell as well can hit enchantments too, so our 1 Emergency Farewell might be a card we grab with the Memory Deluge when it comes time. Noon. Alright. Keep the Memory Deluge open, swing at the Tyvar. We could try to find the 5th mana this turn, though. Play the 5th mana, maybe have the 6th next turn. Crap, is that good? I don't even know. Yeah, since we don't have anything else open in hand, if we had like a counter spell open. Okay, there's mana. We should grab that. Horned Loch-Whale could be pretty good. Probably just like... They're going to get to the point where they can start playing around the No More Lies successfully. What do you guys suppose? Is it still going to be No More Lies? Maybe, maybe. No, I'll grab the Horned Loch-Whale. I don't know. I had a gut feeling about the whale. We found our 5th on time. Now if we draw our 6th, we get to get that down in time too. Maybe just play the whale as a 6/6 ward too wouldn't be terrible. That's their 1 card for the turn. They do find a Rubble Belt Maverick. The extra plant here. Yeah, the No More Lies wouldn't have been great because their plants can tap for any... Oh! Sunfall number 2. I mean, that guarantees our turn, right? We swing for 2 and drop the Sunfall and just be very happy about it. Yep. Let's do it. Let's do it. I mean, if we only had 1 Sunfall, we still wanted to consider it, I suppose. But the problem is they can pop off so incredibly well. Like, you know what I mean? Like, they have like 20 plants and all of them have a ridiculous amount of counters on it. And all in 1 turn, too. But I guess that might be tricky with the High Noon. There's the 6th mana. We have Horned Loch-Whale to deal with their Souls of the Lost. Power up the Incubator. That seems fine enough, I would say. Power up Incubator. Wait, we have 6, so we can get the 2nd High Noon down. Yes, we will do that. I was thinking, like, if we see the Farewell and have to call enchantments, that would kind of suck, but... Oh, Seed of Hope. Nice. Very nice. That's perfect to do against High Noon. All right, let's see it. Horned Loch-Whale is going to be so good here. Here it comes. Lagoon Breach. GG opponent. Yeah, at some point against control, it gets to the point where you just have to anticipate that the control is going to continue regardless. Good stuff, man. Let's end on a high note. The deck kind of did the thing back and forth there. The losses didn't feel too brutal. Okay, let's be real. That discard deck, that was pretty brutal though, wasn't it? that was rough. Yeah, we got to see the control thing. More importantly to me, we got to see the side of the deck that is the tempo side of things, the side that actually knows how to wrap up games, and that is awesome to see. I'm actually very pleased with how it ran overall. Would have been nice to actually pull something off with 3 steps ahead or the Saheeli, but it's still packed into the list, and you guys can make your own decision on whether or not that's important enough to keep in or just have like better... a better functioning removal maybe, or something along those lines. You guys could probably tell, and I said it a few times, the deck is very difficult for me to run. That doesn't mean that the deck in general is hard to run. This is well out of my comfort zone, so when I do play control, some of them are harder for me than others. So it might actually be a relatively easy deck to pilot, but it felt difficult to me. I also like some of the other tempo picks that we didn't get to see today. Like the Urza's rebuff as well. Fading Hope, did we actually get to pull off any plays with it? No, but there were a lot of moments where just like having an open mana for the Fading Hope would have been fine. Sunfall's good enough to have 3 or 4. And there's going to be a lot of moments where you're just like, come on, 5th mana, right? And then you get the 5th mana and Sunfall just kind of like wins you the game. I mean, it kind of, sort of did win us the game in the... in that last match there, right? Removing their wide board state. We ended up seeing both of them anyways, but definitely want to consider more. Oh, hey, by the way, it's a perfect even split between white and blue. And that means there's a perfect even split between white and blue over here in the mana base as well. And here's our dual land. I'm making a mess of things. Hold on, let's... Let's rearrange so we can see it a little bit better, right? Okay. So there's a perfect split between white and blue over here in the mana base as well. So there, we can kind of see that split, and then we can kind of see the splash of red, and we opted for the late game lands because that's just how the deck is, very much so. With 27 total land. Did it feel like 27? In some of the games it felt like 27. Others it didn't. And this is very much the type of deck where you're just like, come on, land every single turn. So 27 should be fine. I wouldn't go up to 28, I don't think, at least. So even though we opted for a lot of slow land, I did opt for any time white and blue as a duel. The Pain land did a lot of damage to us. Could we drop this successfully and just go up a couple more islands and a couple more plains? I don't know, man. It's pretty greedy. Double blue and Urza's, double blue and 3 steps ahead counter, double white and Interrupter, double white and Wandering Emperor, double blue and Memory Deluge. Of course, double white and Farewell, you should have double white when you actually have 6 mana. Same thing with the Sunfall too. By the time you have 5, hopefully you have double white. There was a game though today, wasn't there? Where our double white came from the Celestus. And Celestus is so good, dude. Do we want to consider just more of these? Yeah, maybe 2. Worst comes to worst. You can just discard the second one to the first one. You know, it's a legendary, so you can't have both of them out there, but Every time I play with Celestus, man, it just does, it goes above and beyond to the point where I feel like it always wins me at least one game when I play with it on video. You know what I mean? And we very much won that one against that Rakdos aggro because of Celestus. That extra life gain just went a little bit too far. And all it takes is a little bit of life gain every turn when you are taxing the opponent that much with the High Noon. Pretty wild stuff, man. Interrupter really did the thing today too. Awesome, awesome. Yeah, I really like how this one performed. Guys, let me know in the comments, what would you add or take out? What does your control deck list look like, huh? Is it even worth splashing the red in here for the bottom ability on High Noon? I think so, especially in a deck like this that really cares about just plugging that damage through anyways. Guys, while you're down there in the comments, make sure you check out that description for the Discord link, as well as that Patreon link too, if you're interested in supporting the channel that way. Of course, the main reason to check out that Patreon is the patron suggestions. Alrighty, guys. Hey, enough rambling. I will see you in the next video.